Platform engineering teams done right, design considerations behind Amazon Aurora, and ongoing security, a step-by-step guide to a secure app development process. This and many more in the Architecture Weekly number 59. Let's get started. Platform engineering teams term is on hype now due to the popularity of the Team Topologies book and the overall discussion on how to apply DevOps practices in a right way. Adrian Cockcroft is sharing his ideas about the principles behind the platform teams. And the plural here is no wonder, as it appears that several platform teams covering different levels of abstractions of the platform are really essential in big companies. Find a great article and an example of organization structuring in the end of it. The second highlight for today is the design considerations behind the Amazon Aurora, or how the article is titled Design Considerations for High Throughput Cloud Native Relational Database. Amazon Aurora is built with an idea of separation of the compute part from the storage part for resilience. The way how they commit data in multi-node system is through a redo log, which is associated with the database. The paper that I'm sharing with you is describing how the network I/O looks like within Aurora, how the traffic goes through its nodes, and finally describes the learnings from designing such a system. So grab the paper in the links. And the last highlight in this video is the article that is written by myself, and it's about ongoing security of mobile development. But actually the same principles that I'm describing can be applied to any development whatsoever. The reason for this is that some companies really think that they can add security as kinda some last step as in their CI/CD pipeline. But this obviously doesn't work, right? Security impacts the application architecture, and the threats can have significant impact on data structures, the overall process organizations, and many other aspects of the app. So the article I'm publishing examining those threats and examines the whole process of the application development and suggests the things that you can do at every step of the CI/CD pipeline in order to make sure that you have a holistic approach to the security of your app. So grab a read. Okay, now it's time for the follow-up section. And as we started this issue with the talk about platform teams, I'm continuing the newsletter with another link about the platform engineering teams. So this time it's about how the different platform teams can represent the different parts of the platform as a whole. For example, like platform user interfaces, infrastructure part, services, support, and many more. So grab an article. Okay, next one is a big news from the database world, because Cassandra just announced that they reached AC transaction support for their product. Cassandra is having lightweight transactions for already 9 years, since 2013. But those transactions are obviously not enough, because the Cassandra users want to have the transactions across several data centers. And now it becomes available with the new breakthrough called Accord, so you can find the paper later. So now the Cassandra developers promise to guarantee an isolation for the transactions through a consensus that reached in a single trip, so really fast. So follow the article for the details. Okay, next one is sustainability cloud native way. Energy consumption can be an architecture attribute for your system, along with security, performance, and other attributes. Because new regulations and all this tendency for green energy, or just because the energy is plain expensive. So I'm sharing an article by Red Hat where they suggest a solution to monitor the power consumption of Kubernetes workloads. So read more inside. Nice. Next one is securing AWS organizations with service control policies. So imagine you're opening a new company or just starting a new AWS organization, and you start with the root account, which in turn create the first admin account. But what do you next security-wise? Like, how do you separate development and production environments? How do you manage user permissions? Like, how do you control all of that? Please follow the article for the detailed instructions. Okay, next one is a big ball of mud, and I suppose like you definitely know what I'm talking about. Right now I'm sharing an article about this phenomenon, like big ball of mud, and like it's kind of known to everyone. So tons of global state, every component talks to every another component, there are no tests, it's really unmaintainable, all that stuff. So typically the solution that we apply is just we try to rewrite it from scratch and call for an architect that will draw a new shiny solution for us. However, I think the proper strategy is to avoid this situation in the first place, and in order to do so you need to understand why you're reaching this state in the first place. So this article is trying to analyze why developers end up with this big ball of mud, what leads us to that, and how to make better systems. Okay, and the last link for today is the ultimate guide to software architecture documentation. Actually, I touched the point of the architecture documentation many times in this newsletter and the blog itself. Right now, I'm sharing a new article that I found, and it's like 12-minute read about like the reasons behind the architecture documentation, why we just can't have the self-documenting code, etc., etc. One of the reasons for that is that code is never gonna tell you about the non-functional requirements or explain why the solution was designed in this particular way. So documentation is important, and this particular article will tell you not only about the reasons for that, but actually about some tools that you can use to create them. Okay, and before you go, don't forget that 7th of March in the morning, I'm interviewing Mark Demu about what engineering manager should know about software architecture. So this will be an hour-long session and it should be really interesting. So don't forget, the link to the interview is down below and also here or here in this corner. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe down below to the channel in order not to miss new videos on it. I would also appreciate your support that you can make at Patreon or Boosty, and that will really help to run the channel. Patrons and Boosty subscribers get the early access to all the content that I'm making, and you will also get your name in this list of supporters, and you will also be able to join the architecture community where we discuss what's happening in the industry and solving some architectural puzzles. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.